Have you ever felt like you are just completely in your own way? Like you want to change, you want to move forward, but something inside just stops you? Well, today we're going to get into that. We're exploring this really powerful idea from the book The Mountain Is You, which is that the single biggest thing holding you back in life is you. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how to start climbing. And that right there is the core of it all. See, this isn't about being stuck at the bottom forever. This whole thing is a journey of rising up, of finally overcoming that internal landscape that's keeping you from the life you actually want to live. This really sets the stage for our climb. Okay, so let's start at the base of the mountain. Before we can even think about climbing, we have to understand what it's made of. And this first part is all about realizing that this mountain, it isn't some external force. It's actually built from our own fears, our own habits, and our own old stories. I mean, really think about it. You want to start that business, but you keep procrastinating. You want to have a healthy relationship, but you push good people away. You want to feel confident, but you stay silent in meetings. These aren't just random failures. They're all symptoms of an internal battle. You've literally built a mountain of self-doubt and fear, and now it's the one you have to climb. Now this is a game-changing way to look at self-sabotage. It's not that you actually want to fail. It's that your conscious mind wants growth, but your subconscious mind is just desperate to keep things familiar and predictable, even if that familiar place is painful. It's like an old piece of software running in the background, trying to protect you from the scary unknown by keeping you locked in the familiar. And this just nails the disconnect perfectly. On the surface, it looks like you just missed a deadline. But what's really going on underneath, it's your subconscious protecting you from the fear of not being good enough to handle the success. You push away love, but what you're really doing is shielding yourself from the kind of hurt you felt before. These behaviors are just the tip of the iceberg, the visible peak of a much deeper mountain of fear. All right, so if we're going to climb this inner mountain, we are going to need a map. And it turns out that map is our emotions. This next section is all about learning how to read your own internal signals as your personal guides for the climb, instead of just writing them off as random noise. You know that sudden flash of anger you get? Or that deep pang of jealousy? It's not a random overreaction. A trigger is a signpost. It's an emotional flare, fired up from your past. A messenger that is pointing you to the exact location where you still have an unhealed wound, where an old belief about yourself is still running the show. Whatever triggers you is trying to teach you something. So how do you actually use these messengers instead of letting them control you? You use a process. Instead of that knee-jerk reaction, that explosion or shutdown, you just create a little bit of space. You pause. You let yourself actually feel the emotion without judging it as good or bad. Then you get curious. You become an investigator, asking, wait a second, where have I felt this before? And then you just listen. This is how you turn an emotional landmine into a roadmap. Let's break this down even more. When you feel that surge of anger, it's almost always a signal that one of your boundaries has been crossed. That sharp sting of jealousy when you see a friend succeed, it's a spotlight pointing directly at a desire you haven't let yourself pursue yet. These emotions aren't weaknesses, they're data. They are your inner GPS, pointing you to the exact areas that need your attention. Okay, so once you start reading your own map, you'll start to see the same spots pop up again and again. The old hurts, the outdated stories. To climb any higher, you have to lighten your load. This isn't about forgetting the past. It's about integrating it so it's no longer this heavy weight you're dragging, but a foundation that you've built upon. And letting go is an active process. First, you have to face it. You stop running from the pain and you write it all down, no filter, just brutal honesty. Then you find the lesson. You actively search for how that struggle made you stronger or more compassionate. You can use a ritual, like writing it all down and then safely burning the paper, as a powerful symbol that a chapter is closed. From there, you reframe the pain not as damage, but as training. And all of this work leads to one goal, to get you back to the present moment, right here, right now. And this says it all, doesn't it? You cannot build a new future if your hands are full of old pain. When you clutch those ashes, you keep your nervous system on high alert, always scanning for old threats, completely unable to see the opportunities right in front of you. Releasing the past isn't about forgetting, it's about freedom. It's about finally putting down the heavy rocks so you have the strength to build what's next. Now for the really exciting part. Once you've cleared some space and you've lightened your load, you get to build. This isn't just about healing anymore. It's about actively, consciously creating your future. You're shifting from being a product of your history to becoming the architect of your destiny. See, the future isn't something you just wait around for. It's something you build with intentional, daily choices. And this slide is the blueprint. It starts with getting crystal clear on your vision, writing about your future self in the present tense. I am confident. I am calm. Then you build systems, like a powerful morning routine, that act as daily proof of that new identity. You track the tiny wins, because those small acts are what literally rewire your brain and prove to yourself, moment by moment, that you are becoming that new person. This is the shift. This is the whole point. It's the difference between a life of reaction and a life of creation. This is the view from the summit. On one side, you have self-sabotage, where your unresolved past and your random emotions are in the driver's seat. On the other side, you have self-mastery, where your clear vision and your daily discipline are your guide. It doesn't mean you don't have feelings. It means you feel them without letting them knock you off course. You are in charge. And that's where we'll leave it. You've got the map. You have the tools. You understand the terrain. The healing, the growth, the discipline. It all leads right back to you, right here, in this moment. The mountain was never some external thing. It was always you. And that means the power to climb it has also been inside you all along. So the only real question left is, are you ready?